Welcome to the bright side of 50. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to another episode of the bright side of 50 with Carla Palmer. So, y'all, this is the second time I'm recording this because I recorded it before this and I didn't hit record. I didn't hit record hard enough. So, this is time number 2. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What are we talking about today? Today, we're going to be talking about if I were out on the dating scene heavily, if I were out there, if I were on the apps, if I was going on a lot of, first dates, these are 10 things that I would take into my dating experiences. Okay. These are 10 things. Now, I'm not saying that I don't date now. I just don't date a lot and I'm not on any apps. I'm not actively looking for love. I'm actually pretty comfortable being single and pretty content. Honestly, I shouldn't even use the word pretty. I am content and actually really enjoy the current situation that I have right now, which is totally single, very, very single. Not even a ton of dates. I may go on, 3 or 4 dates a year, if that. So that's where I am. But if I were out on the dating scene, which I know some of you are, and I know some of you are out there hoping to one day be connected to someone lovely, someone who's a great fit for you. So I thought I'd share these things that I will do if I do get back out there on the dating scene, or if I do decide to get on an app one day, which I highly doubt I will get on a dating app. But if I do, and I get a first date, these are 10 things that I would take into my dating experiences. Number 1, I would manage the expectations. I would manage the expectations in a way that, hey, this is a first date. I'm just getting to meet this person in person. I hope it's a positive experience. No thoughts about where is this going to lead? Oh my gosh, I hope this is my guy. I hope this is the one, or at least I hope this is so great that it ends up being another date after this. I'm not taking that spirit into it. The only expectation that I have is that we both show up. That we both show up to the date and we both show up with a positive attitude. That's it. And I'm going to keep it light, and I'm going to make sure that it's a positive experience. At least what I'm putting out there is a positive experience. And then we just see what happens. So managing expectations, keeping it light. Number 2 is keeping it positive with no negative talk. When I say no negative talk, I mean, we're not talking about the current political climate and how negative that is right now, because it's pretty bad. So I wouldn't do that. And if you're listening to this after the 2024 election, then whatever, but still keep politics out of the conversation on first dates is what I say. I wouldn't even ask what their, political affiliation is. I wouldn't even ask anything like that on the first date. I would not talk about how terrible my job is. Oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, my job is so stressful. I don't like my colleagues. I don't like my boss. My boss is so this. My clients are so that. They don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear negativity about anything. Your family members, your exes, none of that on the first date. So I know that, and I am going to approach the dating situation keeping it positive, keeping it light. And like I said, number 2, keeping the negative talk about any and everything, keeping that out of this first date experience. This is another thing that I am definitely going to do, or not do, I should say. This is number 3. I wouldn't wear any shapewear. Maybe that's controversial. I wouldn't wear any shapewear. I would come pretty much like, hey, this is the size that I am. I may not be all perfect in all the areas. I may have a love handle or 2, or a small little pooch or a big pooch in the front. This is what I'm working with. And that's how I would show up. I'm not saying that I would never wear shapewear on a date. I'm just saying on a first date, I probably wouldn't wear any shapewear. And I also wouldn't get super glammed up, because my thing with first dates, and especially getting off of an app, is showing up and, of course, putting a good foot forward, but not necessarily to the fact where it's so glammed up. You're all designered out. You got on your shapewear. You got, a whole bunch of makeup on. Um, maybe you have on a wig. For me, alopecia, I might have on a wig because I don't have a bunch of options, but I'm just not going to show up as what I don't typically look like. So that would be a number 3. Number 4, I would say that I would make sure my nails were done. I would make sure my nails were done. They don't necessarily have to be all bedazzled and all of that, or some special kind of nail technique, but they do need to be done. The cuticles need to be pushed back. Shouldn't be any, skin hanging off around your cuticles. Make sure your hands are lotioned up, and make sure you have a pretty color on. Maybe a color that looks really good on you. I happen to like that Tiffany kind of color, that greenish blue. That looks really good with my skin tone. And then I really like purple. It tends to look great on my skin tone as well. Or you could do something that's really light, like a sheer. But I would definitely make sure my nails are done. There's nothing worse than going out and having coffee with someone, or having lunch with someone, or picking up a sandwich, or picking up a pastry, and having to hide your hands. We've all been there. I was there the other day. I'm looking at my nails now and they look atrocious, but I have no date lined up and I have no important meeting or anything to go to right now. But when I am going out on a date, especially a first date, I definitely want to make sure that my nails are clean and cut and shaped and polished and lotioned up. Okay. So number 5, I think it's important, and you may not agree, but I think it's important to stay abreast of current events. I'm not saying you have to go and do a whole lesson on current events, but, turn on, I don't know, is it, it's maybe not CNN, wherever you get your news updates. I would browse that before the date or that week. And I just do that naturally, and I don't get all my information from Instagram or TikTok. I'm saying actually go and have a look at current events nationally, and what's happening in your city or your state, just in case, something comes up where you guys are having a conversation on what's going on. And again, staying away from politics, but current events. So I would stay up on current events. I would also, number six, I've had a problem with this before. Hey, sis. Hey, I just wanted to take a moment to ask you, have you subscribed to The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer? If you have not, could you please take a moment, if you like the podcast, take a moment now to hit the subscribe button so that you become a subscriber. Turn on your notifications so that you're notified when a new episode drops, okay? Also, follow me on Instagram. I am The Bright Side of 50 over there on Instagram too. Thank you so much. Now I'll let you get back to the episode. I've had a problem with this before because I am chatty patty. Your girl can talk. I get that from my dad. So it's just in me. I can really, really talk. And what I have learned and really had to tell myself in the past is that you talk too much sometimes. Sometimes you just be going on, and you lose people that way. Even if what you're saying is interesting, give the other person an opportunity to speak. All right. Give them an opportunity to speak, and, just don't take over the whole conversation. Make sure you're listening to them, and make sure that you're asking questions when they say something. If he says something that sparks your interest, or you want to know more because you're curious about something else, show that you're listening by asking follow-up questions. Carla, so I'm talking to myself here because, like I said, sometimes I have been known to take over the conversation. And I've reflected on past dates and asked myself, when I've walked away from those situations, because when you've done too much. And I've asked myself, did you talk too much? What else? What could you have done differently? Not beating myself up about it, but just a real self-reflection on how that date went from my perspective, what did I think about it? Whether that person calls or not, whether there was a connection that's going to continue or not, how did I operate in that situation and in that environment? And do I feel good about that? Because that's all that really matters as you're doing your self reflection. Because I'm trying to get better when I'm going out and putting myself out there in front of, someone who could be, somebody that, I end up dating. Again, not looking for that right now, but if I were, I would be thinking about those things. Number 7, smell good, girl. Put your smell goods on, girl. Listen, you got a scent. I know you got a scent. We all have that thing that we like. We all have that one scent or those scents that we mix together. I'm going to tell you what mine are. And I don't mind sharing what I wear because it smells different on everybody. So I love Byredo. That's the brand, the designer of perfume, Mojave Ghost. And I mix it. I mix Mojave Ghost with Not a Perfume, Juliet Has a Gun. So Mojave Ghost and Not a Perfume, Juliet Has a Gun. The combo, baby. The combo. And how I layer it is I do the Mojave Ghost first. So that's like the main thing. And then I do a light mist of the Not a Perfume, Juliet Has a Gun. So those two together on me, like the way it lands and comes, emits from me, it smells really, really good. And I feel confident in saying that because I've gotten tons of compliments on it. So one thing I'm going to do, number 7, is I'm going to smell good. And you going to walk away from that date going, now, she might not be a 10 all the way around. One thing she does is smell good. That girl, that lady smelled really good. Okay, so you're going to remember that one great thing about me. All right, number 8. I'm a flirt. I'm a flirt. Okay. It's just my natural thing. I've been like that since I can remember. And I like to laugh. I like to lean in. I like to, I may touch you a little bit and not in a sexual way, but casually touch you if you say something funny, or if I say, oh, I got to tell you this, I might put my hand out. I'm going to lean in, like I said. It's feminine, it's flirty, it's fun. And I'm only doing that if I'm feeling you. I'm not doing that because I'm just doing it and I'm leading you on and I'm not interested. You're not going to get all of that. But if I am interested, then you are going to get some of that. And you're also going to get a compliment. If I really like something about you, I'm going to tell you. That's also, my way of flirting and letting you know that this is going great, So I'm a flirt. Number 9, I'm going to try not to give my opinion on any part of his lifestyle that he shares with me that I may not agree with, or I may have my opinion about. If it's not solicited, there's no need for me to give it. If this person is telling me a part of his lifestyle or some aspects of his lifestyle that don't align with what I am looking for, maybe they go against my own personal morals and values, that's fine. I'm going to let him have that. And what I'm going to tell myself is that this is not someone that I would pursue or allow to pursue me any further. This might have been like a great experience, a great time, but certain things are just not going to work for me. But there's no need for me at that time on a first date to give my opinion about something that he's comfortably and confidently shared about his lifestyle. Good for you. That's awesome. If you like it, that's great. There's no need for me on a first date to give my opinion about that. So I won't do that. Number 10. Yeah, we're on number 10. Number 10 is maybe a little controversial, but I would offer to pay for my food or my coffee or my wine if we go out for happy hour. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because, especially on apps, if you meet somebody on an app and you decide that you want to get off the app and go out, it's usually like a mutual decision. And when it's a mutual decision like that, I'm talking about me. This is just my own personal thing. I feel better when I can offer to pay for what I've consumed. Now, it's not a setup either. I just want to lead with this. It's not a setup, but I do hope that he will say, "Oh no, I got it. It's good. It's cool." That's the hope. Because if he doesn't, I probably won't go out with him again. I know, dog, don't come for me, y'all. I'm just saying, like, I just feel comfortable at least offering, but I still have the expectation on a first date that he is going to cover the bill. All right. Now, you guys can say what you want to say in the comments. I actually want to know what you think about that. Just curious. And I also want to know, those are the 10 things, the 10 ways that I would go into the dating scene if I were out there. I also want to know, what did I leave out? Because I know you guys have your things too. What did I leave out? What do you think about any of the 10 that I listed? Because I'm sure you have your opinions, so I want to hear them. And you see, I'm soliciting your opinion. I'm telling you, it's okay. Give me your opinion on what you think about these 10 and what I missed or what you might add or what you might shift. Okay. So yeah, that's that. That's the episode. If I were out in the dating scene, these are 10 things that I would take out to the dating scene, how I would operate on those first dates. These are specifically for first dates. Just want to be clear about that. Number one, we ain't been out before. First date. Okay. I have a lot more that I want to say about going out, dating, first dates, second dates, just dating in general, but I don't want to really turn this into like a dating podcast. So there's enough of that out there, honey, and all these different things that contradict each other. And I'm sure I contradicted something somebody else has said, but everybody's got their way of thinking and operating when it comes to dating. And we just have to find our way. These are tips that I would put in place for myself. And I want to know what you think. So that's it, guys. As always, it's super dope being with you guys on a regular basis every week, every Monday, every Thursday. And as I said earlier in the podcast episode, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please share it out. Please comment. The more that you comment, the more that you share, the more that you subscribe, then the more visibility the podcast gets. You know, we're women in midlife and we're just talking about stuff. We're talking about stuff that we go through as women over 50. And I know that I do have some men who listen sometimes too. So I want to give a shout out to you. Hey, boo, hey, I see you. And thank you for the DMs. You guys do often DM me to let me know that you heard the episodes and what you took away from them. So I'm glad you're here too. It may be, you know, geared towards women in midlife, women in their 50s and 40s and 60s and all of that. But for the men who are here, you are welcome. You are welcome here because, honey, I love men. I do. I think you guys are amazing. All right, guys. I will see you on the next episode of The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer. Take care. Bye-bye.